Okay, everybody, we're back here for another reaction. You'll notice, of course, that we're missing one of the two Alexises here in this chat. Well, there ain't much we can do about that to control it, but I'm sure she'll be back next week, and I'm sure she'll give us her thoughts about what happens. I gotta say, of course, you do hear some things in advance before we do these reactions. Um, Again, we're just gonna jump straight into it. All I know is that some say it's not very eventful, and then others loved it. But then again, you can only take that with so
Mm-hmm.
much, I guess, seriousness. So, um, yeah, there's a lot of directions where it could go. I feel like, from what I've heard, I think this is going to be mostly set up, and
Yeah, that makes sense.
it'll leave for a final week of nothingness. I mean, a final week of like having to resolve so many things, but people should not be expecting a resolution because that's not what this is here to do. This is here to set up a movie, which we'll get in 2000. Who knows when?
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I'm just ready to jump into this. David, any thoughts?
No, not really. I haven't seen anything. Just some shots
I mean,
here and there,
I
but
haven't seen any spoilers except
yeah.
for one cameo, but I hear there's more than one cameo here.
Mm,
So yeah.
well, we'll
Which
see.
at this point, who cares, right? I mean, it doesn't freaking matter.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead and go to the Disney Plus page. By the way, stay tuned for all of our content here on Red Spotlight. We just have a new podcast, so check us out here on Red Spotlight, YouTube, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
There wasn't enough time.
How much of an asshole do we think Ahsoka will be in this episode?
I mean, she's not even gonna be. What's gonna be her reaction when she meets Sabine? Like, I mean, she's gotta have some kind of emotion.
Our primary objective is to escape this guy.
By the way, those that message that you sent in the group chat about Thrawn's look, people making fun of his like stomach and shit.
We didn't talk about that shit last week because it didn't occur to us.
Yeah. But
Wow.
dude, that's fucked up. And I mean,
Right? It's body shaming.
Yeah, for sure. And dude, honestly, I didn't even notice it until you sent
No.
those messages. I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? He looks skinny. But then I'm looking at him like, okay, yeah, there's a belly there, but
Not
what
that
the
it
fuck?
matters, but in what universe is Lars Mikkelsen considered fat?
Yeah.
Again, and if you happen to be a person who is like, you know, heavy, cool, all power to you. No judgments here. But like, really? No, but I mean, it just goes to show you, like, there's no bottom. Like, a lot of these Star Wars fans have no shame.
Mm-hmm.
They have no shame, and they'll just go straight to it.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Ahsoka. I guess we're gonna be using a bit. I'm sorry, I don't care about the stupid Republic and their investigation into like Hera. Why are we going to be spending any time into that?
Mm-hmm.
Why does that matter? Especially with where we left everything last week. Why are we going to delve into it? You see, there it is. It's Coruscant.
The New Republic by ignoring direct orders.
No, I protected the New Republic by ignoring you.
I love that line. There we go. I love something here. Great. Keep it up.
Oh my god.
I mean, is this really a surprise? Hey, I'm not gonna be mad at seeing him.
No, yeah. I like that he's here. I really do. These kinds of things, like, it doesn't bother me. Like, it never, like I said, I mentioned before, at the end of season 2 of The Mandalorian, like, I liked seeing Luke, you know, fighting all those robots. I don't like why they did it. You know, they just did it, you know, for the cameo's sake.
I'm never gonna be mad at 3PO or R2 showing up.
For sure.
The Honorable Senator Organa.
Okay, and this is why I don't mind it either, because obviously it's a replacement for Leia.
I object.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. No, you lost the floor. I'm sorry.
This is preposterous. The court cannot admit evidence of this kind from a mere droid.
That's funny.
willing to overlook this misstep, but asks that you address any further concerns to her directly in her role as leader of the Defense Council.
I mean, why? Yeah, that's so stupid. Why would they vote without her?
Yeah.
Yeah, what an idiot. Okay.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, dude, that was a big fucking plot hole. Jesus, man. I mean, he should be removed. I'm sorry. Look how fucking like eager he was to kick out like Hera.
Yeah.
Like,
and if there were more episodes, there'd be an episode of someone like looking into him, being like, "This guy seems too eager. Let's follow him or something."
I'm sorry, but seeing 3PO really does something to me. I love him.
Yeah, and
that was wonderful.
But also, like, we're always gonna praise the music and all that. But like, you could tell too, it's like the music got a little bit cheerful and like
too cheerful. It's that same shit they pull all the way back in Rogue One, where you have freaking Bail Organa like walk in the background, and it's like da-da-da-da-da, and then it just peters out, and then no one in the room addresses it.
But also, like, the camera lingers on him too. Like, he just literally just walks in, and he just kind of like, this camera just stays on him. Like, I'm here,
and we're like, the fuck? Yeah. I mean, the music sounded great, but it's just the placement of it. It's like, guys, we get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to use the music to make us help communicate what you're trying to put there any better. We know what you're doing. Okay. Fuck, that's still so funny.
I also do like the idea of Leia just being like, "No, I ordered it. It's fine." Just like having her back. That was cool.
At least somebody is fucking smart. There's cameo number 2.
Yeah.
I wish we were doing a drinking game.
You could face any one of them on the battlefield.
The only one she never faced off against was Dooku. Everybody else she dueled. And that's a pretty impressive rogues gallery to have survived. Ventress, Grievous, and Maul. Oh, and Vader. Oh, duh. I mean, I think actual Darth Vader. Why can't she just reach out and he not appear before her?
I know.
That would, I feel, been better.
They used it all up now. It just doesn't matter.
He was a good master.
Talk about it, damn it!
Oh my God.
Come on, it's right. There was something there. It was right there. But it felt the beginning of a sequence, and then it just walked away from it.
This could have been like a 3-episode arc of just her whole relationship with Anakin. Honestly. Oh my God.
Let alone the same system or even the same planet where Lady Wren was taken.
By the way, you're hearing David Tennant's voice. He's amazing. Go watch Doctor Who, the new special in November. We'll be there watching. Hey, might even do a reaction to that. That would be a lot of fun to do a special reaction.
If we can't watch it, I'd be down.
Yeah. Something good for a change. It'll be on Disney Plus.
For sure?
The Doctor Who. Yeah, I think so, yeah. The new episodes are going to be on Disney Plus.
We can watch them. I'm down. I'm so down.
Something's wrong.
No, they're shooting already.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because
those are Thrawn's orders.
Yeah. Also, oh my gosh, the ship was like rocking back and forward, and her reaction was just, "What's going on?"
Right, I know. What the fuck? Oh shit.
Oh.
At least the whales are providing some cover.
You had to say something.
They were. Oh my god. That's.
Well, I thought she was gonna be like, "Well, no, they're getting hurt or something, or like they're taking too much damage."
To be fair, I think she was looking at that, but they didn't give her enough chance to process.
Yeah.
The whales are like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
We're out of here, man. That's funny. And they can't destroy that ring. If they destroy it, they're there. But I mean, here's a problem. if Ahsoka was willing to like lose the path to Ezra, why wouldn't she just destroy the ring then and now?
That's true.
Unless she changed her mind, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's still there.
Mm-hmm.
They're not in a rush. Look at them. I would think they would be in a rush to get out of there. Can I also just say, clearly, and I'm not meaning to say that the show is great or even good at this point, but it has picked up a lot in the last episode. And you know what? I feel like a big reason for that is how good Lars Mikkelsen is right now.
Yeah.
Like he's really good. I mean, he always was good as this character in the animated version, and it's just a seamless it's like stepping off of the animated screen and in the live action. It's the same character. Like this is, and I think it works because he's one of the only ones, if not the only one. Well, not the one of the only one. Not the only one. You have Hera also, but like more him than her even too. Like he feels exactly the same.
Yeah.
And that helps. I feel that the enjoyment of this show, even if they didn't engage in anything more substantial than what this is, I feel our enjoyment of it would have been better if Sabine, Ahsoka, Ezra all felt like themselves. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That would have made, I think, the whole difference. Also, this is an ugly location. What the fuck?
Oh my god!
Really, this is your idea? I know, but this is your idea of another galaxy?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Sanborn and Dino?
Ahsoka took me on as her apprentice.
She what? Why?
We've been asking the same fucking question the entire show, and I love how he delivered it too. It's like, yeah, why?
So where is Ahsoka? Is she coming?
Oh my gosh, you can't get away from these questions. Just tell them.
This is really trying my patience now.
This is
come on,
literally the worst piece of dialogue ever. Oh my god.
That's saying something.
This conversation should have been her almost finishing the story. It was like, yeah, we went to the Battle of Endor, blah blah blah. This happened. Like she could have just ended the story. Like, okay, now he's all cut up from episode 4, 5, and 6. And then, like I said, she can't get around those questions. Like, she has to tell him, Thrawn is here. Thrawn is gonna go back to our galaxy and mess shit up.
Find her?
Yes, Grand Admiral.
You know, I never would have imagined putting Thrawn and teaming up with the Night Sisters. That is an interesting team up.
Yeah.
Because the Night Sisters provide Thrawn the one thing he's always missed. An entry point into the Force.
Yeah. He didn't use Inquisitors on Rebels.
By the time he showed up, they were done being a part of the show because I don't know why. But there were no Inquisitors after season 2. I think what they were trying to say is after season 2 of Rebels, there were no more Inquisitors. The last 2 or the last 3 were killed by the last 3 that we knew about. I think there was one, I guess, that survived, and that was Merrick earlier in the show. But does she have the Force or not? You guys are so inconsistent. And still, shouldn't we be hearing the story of how Ezra got off Thrawn's ship?
That's true too. Oh my gosh. There's so much to learn about that I just forget which one's the most important.
Okay, so does she have the Force now?
I think it's just all Ahsoka.
Maybe.
Fucking, that was shot. It's dark as fuck. I can barely see her reaction.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
That was way too dark.
What kind?
Familiar.
Okay, they just missed a chance here. So she's been struggling to like learn from Ahsoka. There's something about those two that's just not clicking. She's finally with like her best friend, and she just felt something within, like in the Force. Why did she take this chance for her to be like, I think I felt Ahsoka, and then he gives her advice like, here, tap into it like this or something. Like he can be the one to help her the most tap into the Force.
It's right there.
It's all it writes it. Everything about this show just writes itself. Like,
why are they working together? Who are they?
I know.
What? Do you feel like this show is always like operating at a level of like, we're just gonna skip a piece?
Yeah.
And now I guess they just broke up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where did that come from?
Also, since when was it like a mission for Shin to actually like she has to kill Sabine?
What mission did she ever have besides following her master?
Yeah.
I just love how this show just keeps going like full force without ever stopping to think about anything. Also, are we about to find out if these troopers are dead or not?
I hope so. I really like the theory.
The leaks. Well, supposedly it was a leak that they were an undead army.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this would be so much more thrilling in animation.
Yeah.
Doesn't this look like it's moving too slow?
Mm-hmm.
Like even those creatures, you can tell when they were first conceived, they were intended for animation. They were not intended for live action.
Mm-hmm. And I can't really like imagine how it would be shot so differently. Like there would just be like close-up shots of the characters of Sabine shooting.
For one, it would be vibrant.
Mm-hmm.
You would see the colors stand out, right? Like it wouldn't look all fucking dry and gray. And so wait, where's Balon? He just dipped?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like where to where?
Okay, this could have been so way better choreographed. For one thing, these I don't know what you call them. The
pods?
No, the bad guys. The bad guys. They should have just gone straight for Ezra and Sabine.
Right.
And then in that moment, you could have had the little creatures thing, calling to each other like, do this, do this, do this. And then now they start forming like a brigade around them, and that's when those bad guys start attacking them. And then I don't know, the fight could have gone a lot faster. I think it could have been more coordinated, and so I know it just sounds like I'm nitpicking or something, but like it's just, I don't know. I just feel like this whole show could have been more.
Oh, not this again.
Yes, this again. Once I'm on the ground, draw the fighters away.
Yes, of course. Just remember what happened last time.
You got the timing wrong?
And didn't I feel terrible?
No.
That was good. That was good.
That was good. Yeah.
Oh,
that
looked awful.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Not just CGI wise, but like also like it really looked like she could have broken some bones right there. Oh my god.
Wow, that was bad. And like how we just praised something and then it was like, whoa, we hit a new low. I really hate this environment.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it were somewhere else. This is, well, what is the point of picking this type of environment?
You keep it.
What?
I don't need it. Besides, you've been training.
Not really. I feel like Ezra has a tremendous gift in being able to connect with creatures.
Yeah.
Summon some fucking space whales, man. That's all you gotta do. Or wolves.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
That's Sabine should just learn how to fucking use that lightsaber. Like, why is she wasting her time with anything else? If she's trained how to wield one, why not just start off with that?
You remember her fight with Anakin and how he moved? That was so much better. Okay, how have they not caught up with him? How?
How is this? I forgot he was even in here. They do this all the time with Star Wars, where they just the stuff going on in the air is just never as interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do you remember that scene in Andor? It was like in the between 4th and 6th episodes, where they see a TIE fighter coming by, and you know it was like the scariest moment for a while. Going like, is he gonna shoot them down? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna like calm down or something like that? How great was that?
I miss those days.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm beginning to see the volume a lot more clearly, right? Because this is not holding up very well. Like I feel like we're at a point where the budget is beginning to be stretched way too thin.
Yeah, they're just relying on it too much though too.
But that's why you don't do live action.
Yeah.
Our side is short one mercenary. Where's Belen's gone?
I don't blame him.
Or we could just... don't you want to take us as prisoners? As prisoners? Huh? Or...
Fire!
See, right there? That's what should have happened the very first episode. The very first confrontation she had, that's how it should have gone down.
Yeah. Her head is wide open.
Why is her helmet off?
Yes.
Why is her helmet off?
No, I'm sorry. They should have died. I'm sorry, but they were surrounded. Ahsoka jumping in makes no difference. There should have been like, oh, just fire either way or something like that. Oh my gosh. Ahsoka has survived something like this, surrounded by stormtroopers. That could have worked.
I think I might be going home after all.
I hated this episode. I don't need...
You know what? I gotta say, I had a really good day today. That no longer is the case. And you know, it's just like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get over the anger of like this whole situation that we just saw, because as people have been mentioning, the moments that we've been seeing, the last episode, even the one before that, and then this one, these should have been, no, I mean, I should say, these were moments that were years in the making. When Rebels ended, we were like, man, I wonder what it would look like whenever they make that third animated show, and see where the story is going to go and how they fit. And then watching this, it's like, you know, you're never really sure, and you can't be sure, that the animated version of this show would have really had something profound to say or been all that great. But if there's one thing that animated version would have been, is at least delivered on character. Because whatever they're doing on the animated side of things, they've been able to at least deliver on the emotional weight of those characters. And they have not been able to do anything close to that in live action. And it just feels like you're watching the literal worst version of something that you know deep down in your core, had it been handled the way that it was originally intended to be, would have made you feel really moved and would have reminded you why you love these characters in the first place. God damn, this music is great. Sorry, I keep listening to the music as the credits roll, and I'm like, wow, this is good stuff, Kevin Kiner. Of course, he's always has delivered good music. Sorry, there was a bit of a tangent there. It's just, there were moments here that were very close to making me feel something, but then they were ruined by, honestly, it's all over the place. The ways in which it was derailed. In some ways it was the writing, in some ways it was the characters, in some ways it was the direction, and then in some ways it was the effects. I mean, I feel like as soon as the show is beginning to make headway and beginning to make you feel something, it completely like drops the ball on something, comes out of left field, and there's just too many. I'm never really ever gonna be the person that is gonna lead with like boneheaded, stupid coincidences as something that tops my list of negativities. I mean, it came close here. I'm sure you'll get into that particular moment, but I would just say, why I hated it is because there were glimpses of something that I could have seen really, really loving. But then there were also a handful of moments that were good. I enjoyed seeing C-3PO, believe it or not. I enjoyed how he crashed and fucking like, name drop Leia's name and saved Hera. I really, there was that one exchange that Ahsoka and Huyang had that was like, wow, again, that's a glimpse of a much better show. I also happen to be really enjoying Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn. So there are elements that are working here. But I'm sorry to say, they're so few and far in between, and everything else is not just, it would be one thing if it was dull. It would be one thing if it was like subpar. But we're not even in that territory. Like, I've never seen a show that radically like goes from a competent moment to a horrendous looking or a like atrociously written or a sloppily directed, whatever, fill in the blank moment. And that continues to be the case. Those are just my observations of this episode.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the parts where you get glimpses of a potential great show. My thing though is just it really hits me when like they just drop the ball soon after.
And they do it almost immediately.
Yeah, like okay, and so like Ahsoka saves them. The bad guys run away, even the Shin. And just the reactions of hold on, sorry, am I like lagging a lot?
Just checking. I don't see any lagging.
Yeah, it kind of lags a little bit on mine. I'm sure it'll be fine. It's fine. Screw it. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, when Sabine and Ahsoka see each other, like just their reactions, it just lingers too much, and it feels like there needs to be more banter in this one. It's like, they keep making the opposite choices of like what needs to be right. There should have been less banter between Sabine and Ezra. They should have like stayed with it, looked at each other, have Sabine tear up a bit, or Ezra tear up a bit too, and then they hug each other. Like that's how you do it. I don't care about Ahsoka and Sabine's relationship. There was never one before this. Okay, yeah, I'm frozen. Hold on. Let's just hang up real quick. Okay. I forgot where I left off. I know I was talking about just their interaction. They just keep making the opposite choices of what needs to happen, and if they made the right choices, I don't think I would have loved the show still. But like, I still would have been like, okay, you're moving the story along at a good pace, at least. You know, like at least I'm being more entertained. But then they don't, and especially the biggest one, it's fucking Sabine not telling anything to Ezra. Like that last line, like, why are you ending it happy? Like, it would have been so much better if she told him, like, actually Thrawn is here, and then he just kind of like drops his face, and then, you know, you leave the episode at a cliffhanger going like, how's he going to react? Is he gonna get mad at Sabine? Is he gonna blame her? Is he like going to hate her? Like, what's gonna happen? Like, that would have been far better. Why would you end it hopeful? You're literally trying to stop a war from happening. And we're pretty much 100% confident that he's going to be the bad guy in the movie. So, like, we know this isn't going to end happily. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, this just disappoints me.
It's especially frustrating because, again, we keep saying how in every episode there are moments where it feels like it's about to go someplace, and then it just decides, no, let's go back to the plot. And I think this episode had the most frustrating one yet, where she's talking about Anakin, and it feels like it's the beginning of a moment, and then it was like, so anyway. I wanted to jump out of my seat.
Yeah,
just like scream at the screen.
Like, how are you not writing the moments you're talking about Anakin? How are you not writing them with her crying? Like, how does it not cross your mind? Like, okay, there's gotta be a moment where she actually cries about Anakin. I will be so excited to write something like that. I will be so excited to just like break these characters. Honestly, I don't know why they aren't. It just makes no sense to me what direction they're taking the show, these characters, or
here's some reactions. Joe Brennan, who we quoted before, about some takeaways here. And this might address a number of different issues that we've already gone over. Not here, but in the process of all of these reactions. He says, just as it seemed that we might be on the cusp of some depth for Baylan Skoll, he's returned to his old vague mysteriousness that I'm sure is supposed to inspire intrigue. But 7 episodes in, all it gets is indifference. We had the beginning as something interesting last week with him, and now it's just like, fuck all, basically. The decision to have Ahsoka lead the Rebels continuation has never been more obviously terrible than when she reunites with Ezra, and the two of them genuinely have nothing worthwhile to say to each other.
Yeah.
We have to follow her spaceship adventures while the real meaningful post-Rebels catch-up is happening off-screen. Might have been nice to see a little, right? Like, yeah, Ahsoka, Ezra and Sabine were talking for a while, but we just never see it. Then might have been nice to see a little bit of Ezra's reaction to events in the galaxy and friends' lives. Instead of just like, oh, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I'm sure this tweet, if this tweet gets any attention, it's only a matter of time before people show up to say I have no media literacy and can't appreciate subtext. I can. I simply do not believe it's here, or that it's anything, or that there was anything that really could be. Let's see here. And then continues. I've seen some snootiness about it, but I think using C-3PO to make Leia feel present in this story without any ghoulish CGI is a good idea. Am I biased because I'm a big 3PO guy? You betcha, but nobody's perfect. I think part of it was relief because I thought we were moments away from seeing fake Leia. And part of it was, oh yeah, I love this guy. But when you strip that away, I think it's still a good move.
Oh yeah.
See something positive, guys.
Yeah, no, I think that was probably the best part in the whole episode. Just see
C-3PO
showing up. We're like, hey.
Who would have thought it'd be the cameo? The thing I know was the best part of the whole episode because this show is so incompetent. It's that incompetent that it completely fumbles at every turn, every character. The moments that are supposed to be here, the moments that are supposed to make this show.
Yeah, but it also shows that like we're easily entertained. Okay, like again, the C3PO
Yeah.
thing made us happy. Like we actually liked it, and we saw it. Like okay, you actually used that as a good idea. Obviously, you don't want to make a CGI Leia, or you don't want to get another actress or anything like that. So you see C3PO as a um what's the word? Oh my gosh, as a replacement.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
my gosh,
He's a stand-in for
stand-in
Leia.
replacement and all
Right.
that. It's like we're easily detained.
But it also works in universe because C3PO is, Leia's personal droid, attaché, basically. Like everybody knows him.
Mm-hmm.
Like literally the whole galaxy knows him, and he's been like an attaché to her father, Bale, for even before the fact. I want to say that moment where the senator calls C3PO a mere droid and Chopper was about to go and kill him was so that was so Chopper, and that was hilarious. I loved it.
Yeah, that was good.
So you see, there are moments here that work, and that makes this a really frustrating viewing experience because those moments are inevitably followed up with something so heinous. Like, dude, what the hell was that? Like, that must have been the worst skydive landing sequence I've ever seen. I couldn't even tell what happened.
Same.
I couldn't see it. Man, did you lose the money there? Like, what? I couldn't tell if it almost felt like is she alive? Did she?
It's like, oh, she just broke her legs right there. But also, though, in the Clone Wars show, we've seen it before where they jump from high places and then they use the Force to give themselves a little push.
Right.
So I don't know why they didn't do that here. Like, you literally could have go ahead.
Well, no, go.
Well, you could have literally shot her for real and done the whole push thing, and then it would have been fine. But instead, you go with full on CGI, have it look like she broke both of her legs, and possibly die. I don't know.
I know we mentioned it. I don't know if it was last week or the week before that, but it's becoming really, it's becoming really suspicious as to why Zeb isn't in this show, considering how so much of it is just a continuation of the finale of Rebels. It's beginning to feel like the only reason we're not seeing him here is because he was supposed to be here when it was an animated show, and maybe they don't have the money to have him on for more than just a brief scene, right? Because it feels weird that he's not here.
Yeah, I'm sure there could have been a lot of moments with him. Like, he really could have been the comedic relief in the entire group, which you kind of need that, honestly. In the show, everyone else is so serious. And just kind of you need Zeb.
Yeah, and everybody is so serious before Thrawn even shows up. More questions. I did not see a need for a rematch between Baylan and Ahsoka. And mainly because the first one was so blah and underwhelming. I already forgot it even happened. There was no need for that. Also, I don't get what happened with Baylan and Shin. So it seems like he basically says, it's time for us to go our separate ways. You continue following Thrawn's orders. And then after that, while she is taking on Sabine and Ezra, supposedly this Baylan who has separated himself from the Thrawn cohort is now engaging Ahsoka in lightsaber duel. Why would you care?
Yeah.
Why don't you just go and be with the thing that you want to be with? Like, what? Why are you? If you already made your peace and left it all behind, why are you in? Did I miss something, or what's going on there?
Yeah.
I know, so boring, right?
It really was, honestly.
But I mean, that's not a surprise, right? Like it's been. I mean, but how? I'll say this: it wasn't any more boring than the first episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The first episode was oh my god,
it just dragged so much, and the whole time we were just kind of move it along, go. Whereas this one, these past two episodes, they're moving the plot for faster, but there's just so many mistakes that we're seeing. There's so many things that we just don't care at this point. we just kind of want to get to the end.
Yeah, because we want to be done with this already. Like this has given us no reason to care, and it's like everything. I mean, try and recall. Was there anything we said in the first episode reaction that hasn't come to fruition in exactly the way that we thought it would? I mean, again, here's somebody so fucking delusional. Jermaine Lussier, who works for IO9 and Gizmodo. Again, I never really agree with him. I feel like his taste is rather superficial and pedestrian. And if that comes off as insulting, good. He says here, solid penultimate episode. At this point, you're either on board or not. I mean, we haven't been on board at all.
Yeah.
From the very beginning. But if you are, the narrative payoffs were satisfying.
No, there's zero. There's I would even I don't know what I would call this.
What is satisfying about this show? What is satisfying here?
Yeah.
This is the most bumbling I've ever seen these characters. And these are some of my favorite characters in Star Wars. Like, you know how it's gotten to the point where this is giving off major I know we mentioned earlier in the broadcast Doctor Who, right? How we're excited for it to come back because it's going to it's going to feature more so than David Tennant and Catherine Tate. We're most excited for the fact that we're going to have a showrunner on the show that is good. That's the most exciting part of that show. But the level of incompetence, and especially in one of the ways that it's incompetent, where every time it rubs up against interesting thematic and character stuff, it makes a hard turn back into the plot heavy discussions. It feels a lot how Chris Chibnall wrote his Doctor Who seasons. This is giving major Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall vibes.
Yeah.
In that how much watching this, it thinks that it's doing something really. I mean, look at how when you watch this, I swear to God, you are convinced that these people are convinced that what they're pulling off is something truly remarkable.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we got this. This is great. The fans are going to love it.
Yeah, but seriously though, like what you said, wow, what's so satisfying about this? Like, okay, Ezra and Ahsoka meet. They barely had words together.
They had no words.
They had no words in
they
Rebels.
Had no words. There was no. She was just like,
you know, it was just like
she gave a weird Hillary Kamala laugh out of nowhere. Like that was so forced and weird.
Yeah.
There was no words. That was. All the like Rosario Dawson's instinct was to just pull a Kamala Harris like fake awkward laugh. That was such a strange, bizarre moment.
It's like she didn't know what to do. Either just be like smiling or kind of be like, wait, should I go overboard on this? Be like, it's you, Ezra, or something like that. But
she's giving no direction, man.
She isn't. Are any of them giving direction? Like, I don't understand. And if they are, is it more than one word? Just be happy, be stoic.
What if that moment was a cry for help? Like, somebody tell me what to do. Somebody tell me what to
do. Oh my god, that was good.
Because it was just so weird too. Reading what Jermaine Lussier was saying, the action was solid. First of all, action being solid is not something one should strive to be or something we should accept. But I will say, if solid was the appropriate word to use for what we just saw, I would literally be dancing on the rooftops naked. That's not what we're doing right now. This action, you're calling this solid?
I mean, let's just compare it to one show, The Last Airbender. There's always a fight at the end of pretty much every episode, you know?
Yeah.
And if there isn't a fight, there's always something creative happening, you know, with the bending. But whenever there is a fight, though, each one is unique on its own. In the first episodes, when Zuko attacks the Kyoshi Island, I think, or something like that. It's just you're not just seeing Aang fighting, but you see the Kyoshi warriors fighting, and you see their style now. They're working as a team, and that's great. And at one point, I think it was Zuko finds them. They like, the one where they had like a bunch of perfume, and that's how they.
Yes.
He used that like weed creature to track him down. The one that can like smell from thousands of miles away. There was at one point where Zuko and Aang were on top of this well, and they were just trying to like kick each other's legs off from it and all that. But it's just like these weird like moves, going back and forth with each other. That's again something unique, and you get and they defeated the bad guy in a unique way. And then just to name off one more, it was on my mind. The Blue Spirit when he lets Aang escape from the prison. That whole thing, the way they just get through the army, try to get through a wall and all that. Again, it is unique. Not all of these fights are the same. They meet, they pull out lightsabers, and then they just try to hit each other. That's not something that you want to go for. You gotta make each and every single one different from the other so that we can see something new every single time. And when you have just an open field, you get nothing. That's why those the flying battles are crappy because it's just open, and all you do is just going like swinging left and right, hoping the lasers don't hit you or something like that. And as I kept saying, like, you need cover, you need something to like give you quick cuts to each character, and then you need dialogue in between that.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm gonna share with you the screenshot of that moment, the one that we were just laughing at, where it seemed like Rosario Dawson was like looking at the camera for a cry for help. Look at this moment and tell me that both of these actors are they don't know what they're doing. Look at this photo. It's so cringe. Like you can see right through. I sent it to you directly on DMs. That way you can see it and open it up. But they're like, "What are we doing?" Look at that.
Oh my god. It looks like she's staring directly at the camera too. Oh my god.
It's like, anybody help me?
It's like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
That's the face. That's the
face. Oh my gosh. I'm keeping this and put it on the video.
It's so awkward, man. This is the only enjoyment we've found. It's just laughing at the show.
Mm-hmm.
At least we have that. But it's like, I mean, by the way, so off topic, but like you want like really interesting action sequences. I feel like among a large list of other attributes that have been largely ignored and undervalued in its repertoire, I feel like one of the things where you see that poster behind me and the one that's also behind you, I'm bringing that back up again. I feel like one of the areas in which they really shined, and they did this for, now keep in mind, of course, I don't think particularly the action got good up until season 2. I think season 2 they really stepped it up a notch. But at that point, and all the way going into the very end of the show, they really did some great action sequences every single week on network television. With like, what, $6 million an episode?
I don't remember. But no, yeah, for sure, the other ones always got better, for sure. Ming Na Wen was always the most badass one out of all of them.
And again, well, yeah, there's Ming Na Wen, but they actually utilized her, right? And not like how the Star Wars shows, where she was just like there, being there.
Yeah, for sure. And she's just like a sniper.
And it's just my point ultimately. It's just like, I mean, even that, which is a show that so many people would gladly, you know, belittle and dismiss as something that was so mediocre and a misfire all around, that had better action sequences than this. Not even close. I feel it's kind of an insult to Shield to even say that it should be in the same sentence. And that being said, all the animated shows, when it came to action, was far better choreographed than this.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think there is something to be said for this show literally making a showcase for itself as being like maybe the single worst looking and directed action in all Star Wars. Because I can't think of a single sequence in the show that I thought wasn't good. That I thought was good.
Yeah. No, same.
And there have been some that I thought were pretty terrible.
Yeah, they've all been pretty boring. You can tell that it just seems like the actors didn't get enough training to like really know how to fight with the lightsaber or anything like that. I mean, you can see the difference between Ahsoka and Anakin.
Hayden Christensen.
Hayden Christensen. He just moved so much better than her in that episode, and we were just kind of like, "Oh my gosh, it's you! You're back, aren't you?"
Yeah.
Like, holy crap. Yeah.
This is pretty bad, and I don't like. Who even cares what happens in the finale at this point? What stakes are there really?
Yeah, I don't even know what they're gonna do, and I just hate the fact that are they even gonna start this episode with telling Ezra like that he's back, that Thrawn's back? Like, when is he gonna find out? I will actually be pissed off if he finds out in like in the middle of the episode or something. But I highly doubt it. I feel like you gotta tell him in the beginning just so he can be like, okay, well, I guess we gotta stop him. And then he's not gonna bring up the fact like, why didn't you tell me? They're not gonna bring that up.
Yeah. I'm done. I'm not really sure what else we can say.
Yeah.
All I'll say is stay tuned for our podcasts on Red Spotlight Entertainment here on YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts. David and I just recently did one talking about the latest shakeups happening in Hollywood. And at some point, we will be talking about many, many more things. We'll come back next week and do the reaction to Ahsoka. We're also considering doing a reaction to Little Mermaid 2023, which also continues the trend of reacting to bad things. Although I am definitely up for doing a reaction to Doctor Who when that comes back in November. So that should be exciting and fun to do. And that'll be a nice change of pace in its own right. And I don't know. I also feel like at some point we need to schedule some time for some audio commentaries, one of which happens to be Across the Spider-Verse, you know. We got to plan some fun stuff because this is pretty fucking depressing.
I know. I think you have more fun watching Little Mermaid than this.
Well,
we'll see.
I don't know. We'll see, right? Like, you guys certainly didn't say it was very good.
No, I mean, it wasn't. I mean, yeah, we had complaints. Yeah, we had complaints about it and all that, but like I'm for sure finding him. I think it's more entertaining than Ahsoka, and there were some good parts in that movie that I was like, oh, okay, I like this change from the original. That was interesting, cool.
I hope you know it is gonna be very hard for me to be able to agree with that statement on anything.
Oh, okay.
I feel so.
I'll say this: it wasn't a change. They expanded on some things. And so maybe
I assume that's what it was. Maybe there'll be some interesting stuff here.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, thank you, David, for being here. Thank you all for listening. We're out of here. Bye.
Bye.